Coffee here, welcoming you to another video here on my YouTube channel, where I can teach you all about English language. And you, my friend, you have the best seat in the house for an up-close and personal experience. In today's video, I'm going to explain different scores in Ielts from 0 to 9 and what each score means when it comes to candidates or test takers. Make sure you stick around till the end because I will also share some extra information about each score and maybe some tips about how to take Ielts. Without further ado, let's get into today's video. I'm going to give you some tips before you even start studying for Ielts test. You have to choose a realistic and achievable goal. So in this video, I'm going to dig a little deeper into Ielts test and talk about some techniques that you can use to make your results better. These techniques are from many of the test takers' experiences and are very personal. Feel free to test them out and see which one works best for you. For me, in general, to obtain a satisfactory Ielts band score, it is necessary to be realistic. If the goal is to reach a certain level of English proficiency, there is no easy way out but to practice. As the old saying says, practice makes perfect. And it cannot be more true when it comes to Ielts test. It is important to know what an Ielts score in any of the sub-tests means before you even set yourself a goal. I'm going to give you guys an outline of the overall band scores and different levels of test takers and what each score means. Score 9. This score is an expert user. This band applies to a person who has fully operational command of the language. This means this candidate can use the language in an appropriate, accurate, and fluent way with complete understanding. Score 8. This score means the test taker is a very good user of English language who has fully operational command of the language with only occasional unsystematic inaccuracies and inappropriacies. Misunderstandings may occur in unfamiliar situations. This candidate handles complex, detailed argumentation well. Score 7. This test taker is a good user. This means that this candidate has an operational command of the language, though with occasional inaccuracies, inappropriacies, and misunderstandings in some situations. A candidate with a score of 7 generally handles complex language well and understands detailed reasoning. This candidate is a competent user. This candidate has generally effective command of the language despite some inaccuracies, inappropriacies, and misunderstandings. This candidate can use and understand fairly complex language, particularly in familiar situations. Score number 5. This is what is called a modest user. This candidate has partial command of the language, coping with overall meaning in most situations, though he or she is likely to make many mistakes. He should be able to handle basic communication in his or her own field. Band score number 4. The test taker who scores 4 is a limited user. Candidates like this have basic competence. For them, basic competence is limited to familiar situations. He or she has frequent problems in understanding an expression. This candidate is not able to use complex language. Band score number 3. This candidate has basic competence and is limited to familiar situations. This candidate has frequent problems in the test. Band score number 2. A candidate with whom no real communication is really possible, except for the most basic information using isolated words or short formula in familiar situations to meet immediate needs. This candidate has great difficulty understanding spoken and written English. Band score number 1. Band score number 1 means that this user essentially has no ability to use the language beyond possibly a few isolated words. This user is really a non-user, meaning there is no accessible information. Now let's look at some techniques to use for our test. The first technique is the first tip is to follow a regular study plan. To score high in Ielts, you have to set aside the maximum number of hours you can spare each day to practice English for all 4 subtests. Do not focus only on your weakest areas. Be regular in your practice and give yourself time between tasks. The secret of success is to work towards your goal slowly, steadily, and regularly. Take every opportunity to listen to English whenever and wherever you can. Watch TV programs and films, listen to radio programs, podcasts, and English language CDs, or even online. Songs are also very good if they are in English, of course. So you can listen to songs. Have as many conversations with native English speakers as you can. And practice in English as often as possible with your non-native English speaking friends or family members. Try to read texts in English at least once every day. You should always be in the process of reading a book in English. Try to read texts in English at least once every day. You should always be in process of reading a book in English. A page or 2 each night before bedtime is an excellent plan. Read newspapers, magazines, and novels written for English users or for your English level. Academic module candidates should obtain academic articles if possible, meaning try to read different academic articles if you are taking academic IELTS test. Always carry English texts with you so you can read when you have extra time or time to spare, or time that would otherwise be wasted. Do not worry about understanding every single word. Read some articles in details and some for speed. Another tip that I read in the books or online was increase your personal speed. First things first, always try to get enough sleep before the day of the big race. Eat a good breakfast on race day morning. You can develop the habit of looking at the clock constantly to monitor your progress. Keep moving along the track and do not stop on a bad corner. Breathe long and deeply to relax and keep the oxygen going to your brain. Drink water if you can. And when your car is at the pit, just stop. Stop for a couple of seconds. And by car, I mean your knowledge. The listening, reading, and writing tests are given in that order, and they are usually held on a single morning. The combined length of those 3 tests is 2 hours and 30 to 45 minutes. The speaking test is conducted at an appointed time in the afternoon or the next day or some appointed day or some specific day before or after your actual test or your written test. Only one short break is given between the reading and writing, and sometimes between listening and reading, while they are giving you papers or they're taking away the question booklets. So you need to be at your best for a long period of time, which is why you must sleep and eat well before the test. The hints and guidelines in this video can help you achieve your maximum speed. The more effort you put in, the faster your personal speed will be on that day. Increase your sentence reading speed. The faster and more accurately you read, the more questions you will be able to answer. In all the tests, the instructions, the example, and the questions themselves need to be read quickly and must be well understood in order for you to have more time to find the answers. You can spend a great deal of time practicing at the wheel before the race day or the Ielts day. In the Ielts test, time is your enemy. Candidates who have taken the test and did not perform as well as they had hoped to do so often complain that they were unable to give all the answers in the listening test because the CD was too fast, and that they ran out of time in the reading test. To begin with, do not worry if you do not finish the test. Remember, the test is designed to measure candidates over a range of scores from 0 to 9. Of course, 0 meaning the test was not attempted, or the test taker just simply did not come to the test. Candidates whose English is near perfect can expect to score 9, but even native English-speaking people would be unlikely to complete every listening test answer perfectly or finish the reading tests a long time before the examination or the test ends. Remember, the test is meant to be challenging. The Ielts test measures many aspects of your English ability, including the speed at which you listen, read, write, speak, and think in English. Your personal speed is not something which changes a great deal from day to day, but does change considerably over a longer period of time. As a direct result of practice in working with the English language, your personal speed and ability is pretty well fixed at any given time. The official Ielts band scores you receive are extremely accurate, since each test is tailored extensively to achieve standard results for candidates at all English levels. Nonetheless, there are certainly many things you can do before and on the day of the test to help maximize the use of your time and give yourself the best chance of success. Consider the following situation. Although a racing car cannot go faster than its maximum speed, the race can still be won, and its maximum speed maintained for longer if an expert driver is at the wheel. Today, I'm going to talk about some hints about how you can read faster and do better in IELTS tests. It pays to increase your overall reading speed. To increase your reading speed, you must learn to read in groups of words. That forms logical units of thoughts within sentences. Look at the following sentence. Britain has been a popular choice for thousands of international students over many years. By the way, these sentences are not mine. I did not make them. Notice how you can think of the sentence as being made up of three main parts. Britain has been a popular choice. 2. For thousands of international students. 3. Over many years. What and where, who, when. Note also that in this case and many others, all the phrases answer WH questions. It may be helpful at first to think of WH or how questions when trying to read in phrases. If you read each word in a sentence one at a time, you will read very slowly and most likely misunderstand the meaning of much of what you read. So read your sentences in phrases by considering all the words of a phrase as a single unit. Notice how much quicker it is to read the sentence and how the meaning of what you say is more clear. Practice reading in phrases every day. Look ahead on the pages as you read and always aim to find logical places in the sentences where phrases begin and end. Note also that there is often more than one solution as to where the logical breaks between phrases occur within a sentence. Develop a memory for English. In the reading test, it pays to remember as much as you can of what you have just read, but at least the words can be read again. However, in the listening test, you cannot go back, and the CD is only played once. If the answer comes before the keyword or phrase, your memory of what you have just read is going to help you. To improve your English memory, try the following exercise. Use the pause button on the CD player, or if you're listening online, just press pause. Repeat the sentences spoken in the passage on the audio, CD, online, wherever you're listening to. Gradually increase the length of what you heard. Do not worry about repeating the exact words. Simply aim to remember more of what you have heard. What do I have to do during the test? Manage your time carefully. In the listening subtest, the CD is heard only once, and the questions are answered as you listen. Time is therefore managed for you, but you have a short period of time after each passage to check your work. Do not use this time to transfer your answers to the answer sheet, because you are given 10 minutes at the end to do this. An advised period of time is usually given in which to complete each of the 3 sections of the reading test. Keep an eye on the time as you progress through the reading subtest and as you complete each question group. Make sure that you stop answering questions when the advised time is up. Move on to the next group of questions, even if you have not finished those questions. If you do not, you will probably not complete as many questions as you could. Remember that you are in charge of managing your time in the reading subtest. The golden rule that I heard in one of the books many years ago is always give the monkey exactly what he wants. If a monkey asks for a banana, you must give him a banana and not an apple. In other words, your answer to a question must be exactly what is required. You must be quite sure of the type of information you are asked to give as you answer, and what you must do with it to give an accurate answer. You might think that this advice is too simple to be worth remembering. It might seem obvious that you have to do what the test asks you to do and give the answers the test asks you to give. Yet, failure to remember and apply the golden rule is one of the main reasons why candidates do not score as well in the test as they believe they should. Read the questions very carefully. Know the type of information the test asks you to give. Is the answer a method of transport, a person, a number, a place? If you know, you have a better chance of giving the correct answer. Know what you have to do with that information. Do you have to complete a sentence with it? Fill in the missing words in a sentence? If so, your answer must, therefore, be grammatically correct within that sentence. Do you have to provide an answer with no more than a maximum number of words? If so, your answer must not contain more than that maximum number of words. Do you have to name 2 items that you must hear on the tape or find in a reading passage? If so, your answer must contain 2 items only. 3 items would be incorrect. Always know exactly what type of information you need to give. Alright, you guys, we talked about the scores in the Ielts. I will definitely come back with more tips and more information about the scores. But until next time, please don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Thank you so much for watching, and until next time, I'll see you guys later.